This is Rufus. He is a naked mole rat. You may be sitting there asking yourself, why is he hairless? Well, Rufus has been wondering that too. So today we will go on a journey into Rufus to see why he is hairless. Now you may be asking yourself, how are these proteins made? Well, it all starts out with a process called transcription. But before that can start, it has to go through initiation. This is when the promoter gives a signal to the RNA polymerase to begin unzipping part of the DNA in the nucleus. The next step of transcription is elongation, where the mRNA polymerase makes a complementary strand of RNA from the DNA. The strand being created is called messenger RNA, or mRNA, because messenger is way too long. Now each of the nucleotides get grouped into groups of 3 and are now called codons. Codons code for individual amino acids. The third and final step of transcription is termination. The RNA polymerase comes across the DNA sequence called the terminator, and that tells the RNA polymerase to terminate or stop making the mRNA. Before the mRNA can leave the nucleus, it must go through a phase called mRNA processing. Remember, the mRNA is what we just made in transcription. The first step in the processing is to cut out all the introns, which don't code for anything anyway, so we don't need them. Next, the exons, which do code for things, must be spliced together. Now, translation is the process to making proteins. Just like in transcription, there are 3 steps of translation. The first one being initiation, where the ribosomal RNA, or rRNA for short, binds with the mRNA at the start codon AUG. And the second step, called elongation, the transfer RNA, or tRNA, carries the anticodon, which is complementary to the codons on the mRNA. The tRNA also carries a specific amino acid at the top, depending on what anticodon it carries on the bottom. The anticodon comes together with the codon in the P site of the RNA, when the tRNA moves over to the A site so that the new tRNA can bond with its codon. When there is a tRNA in both the P and the A site, a peptide bond is formed between the amino acids at the top, and then the tRNA leaves. The final step is termination, and that is when has reached the stop codon. The 3 stop codons are UAA, UAG, and UAC. Then the protein is finished, and this keeps Rufus from growing hair. But oh no! Rufus woke up this morning with red hair just like Kim's. How did this happen? Rufus went straight to Ron. Ron started freaking out and went to find Kim. Kim explained that a mutation had happened in the naked gene of Rufus. In fact, she knew there had been a substitution mutation, where one base, one nucleotide of a codon, was substituted with a different one, changing the amino acid, ultimately changing the shape of the protein. Now, Rufus was not totally cool with the idea of being Kim's red-headed twin, but he knew he could sleep better at night knowing how and why it had happened.